I just shared with you the psychology of gathering customers, and now what I want to do is share with you the methodology of gathering customers. And over the years, what I've seen is that about 98% of the consultants that come into our business that are not coached on the methodology of how to gather customers approach gathering customers in this way. What they do is they call up their friend or their relative or their neighbor, and they immediately start to talk about the savings. They'll talk about how excited they are and how they need them to become their customer, and they'll talk about the savings that they're going to get. They'll talk about the travel reward points and how they can earn the travel reward points. And they'll talk about that 3-day, 2-night getaway complimentary weekend that we give our consultants. They'll talk to them about the website where if they refer 5 customers, they can get a free getaway weekend or a free cruise. And they'll talk to them about if you get 15 customers, how you can get free electricity or free natural gas. And what I can tell you is leading with the savings and leading with all those benefits absolutely unequivocally is the wrong approach to gathering customers. In fact, my experience shows me that if you take that methodology and you apply it to your warm sphere of influence, what's going to happen is you're going to get somewhere between 1, 2, or 3 out of 10 people that you ask to be your customer to become your customer. However, what I want to do now is I want to teach you the methodology that works. It'll take that number and move it to 5, 6, or 7 out of 10 that you ask to be your customer will become your customer. And here's what we do. It's a 4-step process. First off, we're going to ask them, would you do me a favor? So we're going to ask for a favor or ask for their help. Second thing we do is we tell them why we need the favor or why we need the help. And then the third thing that we do is we talk to them about the credibility of the company so that they know that it's a very viable company. And then the fourth thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk to them about the facts of how trying our service is no risk to them and so on and so forth. So let me just give you a little example. Let's say I've got a good friend, his name's John. He and I go fishing together. Our families know one another. A couple of weeks ago, John had a flat on the boat trailer, called me up. I went over and helped him change it. So I'm going to call up John and I'm going to say, hey, John, it's Brian. How you doing? Great. You know, I'm going to cut right to the chase. I'm going to say, John, the reason I called is I need you to do me a favor and I need your help with something. Well, sure, Brian. What is it? Well, let me tell you first that it's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to change anything you're doing now. And in fact, you're probably going to save some money. Could I count on you for a favor? And a lot of times they'll say yes, or sometimes they'll say, well, it depends on what it is. And then so they'll ask you, well, what is it? What do you need? What favor do you need me to do? Well, before I tell you that, John, so now we're going into step 2, why I need the favor. And my why for being in Ambit Energy is my kids' college fund, you know, and so I'm going to explain to them, you know, when we went fishing a couple of weeks ago, John, and we were talking about the fact that Betsy and I just hadn't done a good job of planning and putting away for the kids' college fund. Well, that's why I need your help, because if you'll help me and become a customer for me, what'll happen is that I'll get my first promotion with the company. My first promotion with the company gives me a 55% pay increase. And with that 55% pay increase, John, what happens is that I'll be able to fund the kids' college fund. So that's why it's important to you. And let me tell you what I've done. So now we're going to go into the credibility of the company. What I've done is I've partnered with a company in Dallas called Ambit. And Ambit was founded by the grandson of the founder of 7-Eleven or the Southland Corporation. You've heard of 7-Eleven, haven't you? And they always say yes. Well, what they did is they went and got an energy partner, Shell Energy Trading, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Royal Dutch Shell. And if you don't know, Shell Oil is the 3rd largest, 2nd most profitable corporation in the world. And they partnered to offer electricity here in New York City as an alternative to Con Edison. And so now we're going to go straight into the facts. And what I need you to do is just to try my service. So never ask them to switch or change, just to try the service. What I need you to do, John, is just try my service. There's no cost to that whatsoever. In fact, when you try my service, you're going to save a little bit of money and nothing's going to change for you. You're still going to get your bill from Con Edison. You're still going to pay Con Edison. But most importantly, if I can just get a couple of customers that'll position me for that first promotion, and John, when I get that first promotion, it'll help fund the kids' college fund. Can I count on you for your help and just ask you to try the service for me? Now notice I didn't talk about the savings, I didn't talk about the travel reward program or any of that. So at that point, John can say, sure, I'll try the service. And a lot of times they will. About 2 out of 3 of 10 will just at that point, without understanding what the savings is or what the travel reward points are or anything, they'll just try the service. But let's say he says maybe, or he needs to think about it or what have you. Then you're going to say, well, look, I understand that, but John, I haven't even told you the best part yet. The best part is that here in New York, we can save you 7% off your first 2 months bill. The company gives you a written guarantee of 1% savings, so you're guaranteed to save money off of Con Edison. And then very sincerely, you're going to tell them, you know, John, I would never ask you to spend more money or do anything that would be detrimental to your family. I'm only asking you to do this favor because you win and I win at the same time. So could I count on you to be my customer and just try the service? And oh, by the way, John, if for any reason you're not satisfied, I'll help you move back to back to Con Edison. Well, let's say he still says maybe. Well, then I'm going to hit him with the travel reward points. Well, there's one last thing I wanted to tell you, John. When's the last time Con Edison gave you a 3-day, 2-night getaway weekend in one of 25 resort cities around the country? And I always know what the closest resort city is to the customer that I'm talking to. So in New York, it's Atlantic City. In Texas, it's San Antonio. Up in the Chicago marketplace, it's the Wisconsin Dells. And so I'm going to say to him, you know, and the closest city is Atlantic City. Has Con Edison ever sent you and Mary to Atlantic City for a getaway weekend on them? And he's going to say no. Say, well, in addition to that, we're going to give you 2,000 travel reward points, John, and you can redeem these for cruises or getaway airline trips or weekend stays at a day spa. A lot of different travel rewards, and for every kilowatt you burn, you're going to get 1 point, and then for every therm of gas you burn, you're going to get 10 points, and you accumulate these points and redeem them at your leisure. So John, you know, it's like I said, not only are you going to save money, but we're going to give you some nice incentives for just trying the service. And again, I'm not asking you to sign a contract. You're still going to get your bill from Con Ed. You're still going to pay Con Ed. There's not going to be any change to what you're doing currently whatsoever. All I need for you to do is to do me a favor and help me out and help me get that first promotion. Can I count on you? Now, if John still says no, what I'm going to say is, well, John, look, I'm not going to hold it against you as a friend for not being my customer. I understand that. But what I am going to do is tell you that I'm out of the favor business. You know, a couple of weeks ago, you called me and you asked me to come change a boat trailer tire for you, and I came and helped you. Well, if you need some help in the future doing something, what I want you to do is call Con Ed and they'll come out and help you. We're still going to be good friends, but I'm out of the favor business if you can at least do me this favor when it's not going to cost you anything. In fact, it's going to save you some money. Now, some of you all might be looking at this video saying, man, that's pretty strong. That's pretty rash. Well, I went into this business understanding that it was $1 million a month business to me and my family. And so I do have an attitude about it. And if I have helped somebody that is close to me, I'm going to expect them to try the service. I'm not going to lose a friendship over it, but I'm going to expect them to at least try the service. So I am going to get an attitude about it, because in this business, you only need to get a handful of customers to qualify for all of the compensation in the marketing plan. So if you'll go down into the form section of this website right below this video, you can print out the customer gathering methodology document. Follow that. It's got some more detail to it, and go out there and gather customers. And don't forget, it never hurts to three-way on somebody in your organization that has a little bit more experience than you to ask that friend or that relative to be your customer and give you a helping hand in the process. So if you'll follow this customer gathering methodology, what you'll find is, again, you're going to get 5 to 7 people that you ask to be your customer Keep in mind that the example I gave was for New York. If it were Texas, it'd be a little bit different. If it were Illinois, it'd be a little bit different. But you can check with the person that's in your business to understand what those differences in the offer would be, and it's the exact same methodology. And keep in mind, this is not a script. This is a methodology, so you want to sound natural, you want to put it on your own words. Good luck in going out and gathering customers. Do it quickly, do it often, and welcome to Ambit Energy.